Welcome to Koblenz, Germany. It started as an old Roman town back in, she said, 8 BC. And this is the Mosel River. It meets the Rhine. We are walking through the German corner of Koblenz, where the two rivers, the Mosel and the Rhine, meet. At the tip, there is a monumental statue of Wilhelm I. Leading up to the statue is a monument to the Prime Minister who oversaw construction after World War II and 3 original concrete pieces of the Berlin Wall. All are monuments to unity. This is the Peter Altmaier Memorial. The former Prime Minister oversaw post-war reconstruction from 1947 to 1969.
So this was actually part of the harbor. The harbor of Koblenz was located.
They have a lot of historical information.
And there was that little harbor.
Little beer house, snack cafe right by the river. Beautiful. That's a piece of the Berlin Wall. It was incredible to see actual pieces of the Berlin Wall. I remember when the Berlin Wall fell. What an incredible time in history. The American flag has been here since 9/11. It's for solidarity and a sign of peace. This impressive monument of Kaiser Wilhelm celebrates German unity and sits right where the Mosel and Rhine rivers meet. Cable car Koblenz wasn't running when we were there, sadly. I would have loved to have done it. The views look incredible. It goes directly over the river. It takes you to Ehrenbreitstein Fortress, which is just across from the Wilhelm I statue. This is a river promenade. The trees are over 150 years old. This is a Teutonic cross from the Order of the Teutonic Knights embedded in an ancient wall. The Teutonic Knights were called to Koblenz in 1216. They established an order here, serving mainly in nursing care. This artwork leads to the Ludwig Art Museum, the White Building. Outside this museum is Caesar's thumb, an exact replica of the artist's thumb. Caesar's thumb. Apparently it's a perfect reproduction.
This is an artist that is...
Past the museum is the oldest preserved church in Koblenz, the St Castor Basilica. Consecrated in 842, most of the present building dates from the middle of the 12th century. In 1991, it was elevated to a status of basilica during a visit from Pope John Paul II. It is known for its gardens. And our guide told us there's quite a bit of Roman archaeology there too. There are remains of a Roman temple in the basement of this church here in the Asp. In this area they found a fence that proved this is where the first 1,000 Roman soldiers stayed. Go ahead. Thank you. That's the statue of St Castor. He's buried here, and under the statue is the papal seal. Pope John Paul II awarded the designation of basilica to this church. Some historic stones are 700 years old. That's a fountain. They built an aqueduct to bring in fresh spring water for it. This was erected in 1490. It's the only Gothic house. It was single family, now it's apartments and a restaurant. This ensemble of 4 historic buildings is the Florinsmarkt. In ancient times, it was the political and economic center of the city of Koblenz. It owes its name to the church. Florinskirche, I don't know how to pronounce church in German, was built around 1100 and belonged to the monastery of St. Florin. The church behind the scaffolding is about 1100 years old. Next up, the old shopping and dancing hall, built in 1419 in the Gothic style and rebuilt in the 17th and 18th century, where Baroque elements were added. This building offered goods from merchants whose ships were moored on the banks of the Mosel, and in the bottom parts, they had parties and meetings. There's also an eye roller under the tower clock, which was installed in 1724. You can see the eye roller, which moves its eyes back and forth in time with the clock's pendulum and sticks out its tongue. The Gothic alderman house, built in 1530, here met the alderman of the city court, whose task it was to supervise the coins and weights. To the left of the old shopping and dancing hall is the Bürresheimer Hof, built in 1659, which owes its name to the then owners. The Liebfrauenkirche, I hope that's pronounced anywhere close to correctly, built on the highest point in the city. It was the main parish church in Koblenz from the late Middle Ages until the French Revolution.
This is a really nice combination of different styles. If you would like to return to this area too.
Jesuit Square, in the heart of Koblenz Old Town, derives its name from the religious order of the same name that was active here from 1580 to 1773. On the south side of the square is the Jesuit Grammar School, built from 1694 to 1701. It has been the town hall of the city of Koblenz since 1895. In the middle of this gorgeous square is a statue and monument to Koblenz-born Johannes Muller, a physiologist and anatomist, which dates back to 1899. In the town hall's courtyard, there is a rather famous monument, which thankfully was not turned on when I was there. This is actually a fountain that spits, so tourists can get spit on if they get just a little too close. When the fountain is filled during the summer, he spits. So be careful if you're here. Don't get spit on. The Jesuits took over a Cistercian convent founded in the 13th century and rebuilt it. This former Jesuit church, now the Citykirche, is located in the southeastern corner of the square. This is the Koblenz History Column. It recounts the 2,000-year-old history of the settlement of Koblenz from Roman times until the present day in 10 pictures. It's stunning. I must admit, I'd never heard of Koblenz, Germany until this cruise, and I was so impressed. There is so much history here, and it's a beautiful old town. It's absolutely stunning. Hope you all have enjoyed it as much as I did. Thanks so much, and please hit that subscribe button.